You're listening to the Travis Makes Money podcast presented by GoHighLevel.com. For a free 30-day trial of the best all-in-one digital marketing software tool on the planet, just go to GoHighLevel.com/Travis. What's going on, money makers? Welcome back to the Travis Makes Money podcast, where it's our mission to help you make more money. If you're new to the show, we have actually had individual conversations with all three of the gentlemen that are sitting next to me. They are the co-founders of HighLevel, which is one of our main sponsors here on the show. Be sure to go to GoHighLevel.com/Travis for a free 30-day trial of their amazing, robust CRM customer management platform that they built. But I wanted to do something kind of unique and fun here today and go into a few of the reasons why I think HighLevel has achieved the level of growth that they have with the 3-4 million users now that they have. And it's because they've built robust ways for their community to get involved in not only using the platform, but also letting others know about the platform. And it actually empowers the users to make money, sort of like Uber would empower the drivers to make money. It becomes more like a business opportunity platform rather than just a platform that you can just use to solve a problem in your business, which is super cool. So there are 3 ways that I want to dive into on how you, watching, listening to this right now, can use the platform that they've invested 7 years and who knows how much time and actual dollars into, how you can leverage that platform to make more money for yourself, for your business, or for a side hustle or another venture that you have going on. So 3 core ways. The first one would be building a marketing agency and using the tools inside of the platform to sell to other businesses. The next one would be white labeling their platform and building your own SaaS tool out of the platform. And the third one would be just selling their platform to other people as an affiliate. And there are case studies for each one of these where people have made millions of dollars doing this. So please listen to this. This will be the practical steps on how to actually get this done. So welcome to the show, Sean Clark, CEO, Varun Vairavan, CTO, and Robin Alex, COO. Welcome to the show again, and thanks for joining me and giving me so much time. I know you guys have a lot of demands in your time, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Robin, let's start with you, man. You have a robust agency background, which if you're listening to this episode and didn't check out Robin's full episode, be sure to go check out that because I was telling you on our interview, man, I was like, anytime an agency's gone beyond like 12 clients, it impresses me because it's so technically complex to scale that type of a business. And you did it really, really well. And then this was basically the way that HighLevel kind of came out of the gates and found product market fit, was helping agencies serve their clients better. So practical perspective, how can somebody watching this right now that maybe like they've not done this thing before, they don't really know what they don't know, how can they get started practically building an agency using HighLevel's tools? How would you recommend that they do that?
Yeah. So if you're an existing agency today, you already have a book of customers. You're already servicing them, but you're doing a lot of professional services. And the success of you keeping those customers is only as good as what you're doing. And so when we launched HighLevel, it was take the software stack that you have created. Why don't you turn that as an IP infrastructure? And that's what we call snapshots.
Okay.
And then from there, for every single customer that you have, you just take that snapshot. Think of taking a zip file and unzipping it. Now you can implement it very quickly, and you can now charge your customers a secondary line item for the software access. Now, prior to HighLevel, you would be referring them to other products, like the HubSpots of the world and things like that. And you're asking your customer, go sign up to those products and then give me access to it. And what would happen is if your professional services is not good, they would fire you, but they would continue paying HubSpot. So now this becomes a little bit more of a retention play. And so whether or not they keep your professional services, you're still making some revenue from them. And it gives them the opportunity to come back in the future, because a lot of small businesses only have a share of wallet that they're willing to spend over time.
Yeah.
And so given that flexibility has been a game changer for many agencies.
Is there a specific use case or feature? Like if somebody's listening, they're like, I have this job, I make $70,000 a year, but there's more month at the end of the money every single month, and I want to make an extra $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. Is there a specific feature or tool set that you would recommend them getting into and using? Like this one thing, if you take this to a small business, they will need a service like this, and you can start scaling your own digital agency using HighLevel's platform that way.
Yeah. The fun part about HighLevel is, we have so many different tools that you can just focus on one and walk into any business and get them success. The ones that I like to get people on from a very low barrier of entry is adding a chat widget to their website. I think a lot of small businesses fail to realize how many people go to those businesses, but don't realize that there's leads and opportunities that they're just not capitalizing on. So putting that chat widget there is a big leg up. And then the second one that's really popular and that we've been pushing is our AI missed call. So what that is when a call comes in and your business, they're not available after hours, we can have a AI bot that actually receives that call and has a full-on communication with that customer and drive them to an outcome, whether it's booking appointments or getting pricing and things like that. And it's working really well.
Yeah, I highly recommend checking out that particular feature because AI is here to stay and it's going to revolutionize businesses. And if you're not on the front end of that, you're going to be a victim of the back end of that. So a lot of small businesses, especially if you're a young person watching this, Gen Z, millennials, there's a lot of people that are in their 40s and 50s that know that AI is coming, but have just no idea of the things that it's capable of doing for them and the ways that it's capable of saving them money in their small business and potentially even saving the business from going out of business. If you can remove some complexity and increase some efficiency and increase your profit margin somewhere, then businesses will pay you to save money. They'll pay you to save money. They'll pay you to make money. So if you can save them money, they will continue paying you and you can build a really strong income stream that way. So really, really love that. Let's move to the white label side of this. So first of all, explain to us what that is and then how can somebody watching use white labeling to build their own business?
So the way the white label came about was a lot of the agencies that first started using HighLevel came and told us, hey, it would be cool if I didn't have to tell my customers it was HighLevel. Because then they start asking questions about, can I go sign up with them direct? What services are you really providing? So a lot of them, just to get those questions out, wanted to have the white label. But over a period of time, what we saw is a lot of these people started charging for this line item separately. So instead of selling the agency services and providing the software with it, they started charging for the software separately. And we noticed that a lot of these agencies were really successful.
Yeah.
We were like, well, maybe we should lean into that and make sure that it's possible natively out of the gate. And we built the ability for them to create multiple pricing plans, decide which features go on each. So you can become your own SaaS company without ever having to build the software.
Even if you're not technical at all.
Yeah,
which is the
exactly.
coolest thing. And you can rely on the technical proficiency of HighLevel's platform to be able to service a high volume of customers.
Exactly. And there's no complexity in this at all. So even if you look at a lot of the AI coding tools today, you still need to be able to vibe code. And even when you vibe code, it actually writes code. And at some point, you'll really push yourself into a corner where you need help. But with us, you don't need any of it. You can really go in, decide which features need to be in each of those plans. And you can pre-set up all of the accounts for them as well. So you can build some workflows, some automations. So it really is customized for your end customer when they come in.
Yeah, what I really like about it is that you can just pick a niche.
Yeah.
Right. Like you don't have to build this robust platform that can do funnels and can do emails and can do SMS and can do forms and can do, it's like if someone might be thinking like, well, if they could just subscribe to HighLevel, why would they subscribe to my white version, my white label version of HighLevel? Well, it's like, well, you can call your white label version, whatever, Funnels Are Us, and it's just a funnel building platform. And if it does this one thing and it does this one thing really well, you can get customers to sign up for that one thing because that's the one thing that they really need help with.
And I mean, I can give you another example. There's one person that worked on this and customized this for karate studios. And what they did was set up everything from hosting a child's birthday party at the studio, making sure that you send out an RSVP form to all the parents. And when the parents all RSVP, you get the consent to send them marketing messages. And then they'll send out a message post the party to have them all host their birthday parties at the same place. So they would deliver an end-to-end service that solved all the business's problems.
But for karate businesses specifically.
That's the only thing that...
If the riches are in the niches, you can build a really great business solving a single problem for a single avatar up to a certain level before you have to expand into other types of services. And the cool thing is if you built this, this booking service or this funnel service, is that if your customers are telling you, it'd be really cool if we could also send emails from the platform, great, we can build that for you in 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Just simply by going in and turning on that thing that already exists in HighLevel's platform.
Yeah. And with the way SaaS works, you can set up different pricing plans. So on the base plan, you can just have your opening or your lead offer. And then for additional services or, for them to use more of the features, you can upsell them into multiple plans as well. So there's flexibility there.
And it's also easier to rank with those things if you are solving a specific problem for a specific person,
Exactly.
rather than being the the everything solution to everyone. You can be the booking service for karate studios and see great success with that. Before you ever have to expand. One of the coolest things that I ever saw that I think I was telling Sean earlier, that was like my first introduction to HighLevel, was that a couple of friends were like launching SaaS companies. And I was like, how is everybody launching these? Like, you guys are all competing. What's going on? You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, these are all white label versions of HighLevel. But I had a couple friends literally build their own white label version and sell it at a SaaS multiple and make millions of dollars without having to write a single line of code or hire a technical co-founder.
No, but I think that's where it's not that they're just white labeling, because I think every time people say white label, it feels like all they have to do is stick their logo on it. But I think it's the understanding of the problem that they're solving for that end business that really changes this, because the stuff that they build into the account that goes into the snapshots and other things that really deliver value to that end business, that's what gets them the outcome.
Yeah.
So the white label helps, but it's then the IP that they build on top of that really changes it.
And then if you are technical, you can actually build in your own functionality to the back end in addition to like HighLevel's already pre-built services.
Exactly. I mean, one popular use case we have is people that are selling payments today. They will come in, add their payment provider as an app using our APIs into the marketplace. And then for all of their customers that they're just selling payments to today, now they sell a CRM that still comes with their payments. So instead of just selling payments, now they're selling them software. And that makes sense, because in the payments industry, if Square or someone's coming after your customers and they have the entire stack with the payments, now you can compete with them.
Yeah, without having to do anything.
Yeah.
Which is the coolest part. All right, now let's move into probably the most simple version of this.
Sure.
Sean, can you tell us about the affiliate structure and give us some examples of like the type of money that some people are making just sending customers?
Well, it is millions of dollars. So I'll say that. But I think what's great here is that, everybody kind of comes to the table with different skills and different things they want to do. So if you don't want to do an agency, if you don't want to be your own SaaS company, but let's say you're a great content creator, right? And you want to show people how to do these things, or you have an audience that you speak to that you want to educate and help. This is how the affiliate model works so well, because now you can focus your time around showing them how to use the tool, showing them why the tool is important and all of that, but not have to necessarily then take the responsibility of signing them up and running their accounts and all of those things, but you can still get paid. So because we do a 40% recurring affiliate commission for life, there's a lot of opportunity to grow a really great recurring business. So it's not like, a lot of these other programs we see, which we don't like, is it's like you get something for the first year and then it goes down and they change the rules and all this. Ours is really simple. It's 40% for the life of the customer. As long as they're paying us, we're going to be paying you. And we've had people build just tremendously big businesses. And, it's interesting because initially I just assumed, look, you got to have like a big audience for this, right? Like it makes sense. You've cultivated this audience. It's taken you years, and we certainly have those people. But I've seen people literally start off their mom's kitchen table with no audience at all, and end up actually making millions of dollars. So really, anybody who can, if that's your passion, if you're excited about educating people, it's a great opportunity to go out and show them the product, but not necessarily have to approach it as an agency or white label SaaS.
Yeah. Your core job essentially just becomes get traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Or just show people who want to kind of do it themselves, how to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting. I've seen great affiliates be more on the sales side. I've also seen people who are just like super techie. And then the whole thing is like, oh, here's a really technical walkthrough on how to do this, right? And that's a lot of value as well. So it's great because depending on your personality, there's a path for you.
Are there certain platforms that you've seen perform better or worse for those affiliates in terms of like Google Ads, TikTok videos, SEO?
Well, that's the thing. I think I've seen success in all of those places, right?
Okay.
So I've seen people on YouTube do really well. I've seen people on TikTok do really well, right? So it really just varies on who. Like again, I think this is what's kind of fun about it. It's really about you. Like, where do you think you're going to perform best? Where do you like to be? How do you like to? Because some people are really great with short form content.
Sure.
Some people are like, I want to do like a 30-minute, hands-on walkthrough. That's my kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can do both and be very successful.
First of all, I appreciate again your guys' time here, and I want to make the most of it. So we have agencies, we have white label, we have affiliates.
Yeah.
And I think we've covered a lot of those things. Just a couple of selfish questions that I want to ask you all as I have you here is partnerships can be the greatest thing in the world. slash the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's the equivalent of getting married. It's that level of commitment to other people, and good businesses have been built by great partnerships, and bad partnerships have killed more businesses than almost anything else. Let me start with Sean. Why do you think this partnership works?
Well, the most important thing is, these two are way smarter than me. And I think much more handsome than I am as well. That was unintended.
That's subjective.
Yeah. But I seriously, you need to find partners who you feel lucky would ever work with you as a foundation. And if you do that, it's just amazing what you can do. And that's the whole point. You immediately think of them as the expert in things that you're not good at.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, thank goodness I know this person because they're in my life to help me answer these things that I just know they rock. Yeah. And I'm so thankful and lucky that they're here. And I think that's the most important thing you have to start with. The other big thing I think is also important is that, you sort of prepare for the end at the beginning, especially at the beginning. You just sort of assume it's all going to go wrong and you structure it in a way so that one day if you wake up, and that other person for whatever reason wants to move on, it's already known how the breakup's going to go.
Yeah.
And it's fair on both sides. So as soon as you enter into it, they kind of know, hey, if I put my heart and soul into this and I create X, Y, and Z value, how do I get that value out? And you kind of know that as well. And everybody kind of knows that up front. So if things go wrong or if life circumstances happen, it's fair on both sides and no one's surprised by that.
You got to have the prenup.
Absolutely, 100%. But you again hope for the best, plan for the worst, and in our case that never came to pass. But I do think it's something that's important because I have seen a lot of people come to me at the outset of these things and say, "Oh, I'm going to part with so and so, and they're so amazing, and this and that." And then 6 months later, they come back and say, "Oh, I hate this person, the worst person I've ever met in my whole life. I want my account back." And all of a sudden, trying to divide things up fairly becomes a very difficult task.
Yeah, no kidding. Robin, how important is radical honesty in some of these closed container conversations?
Yeah, I think that's the, like Sean said, having two great partners along the way makes it a lot easier. When we're in the closed door conversations, I think, even the moments where we have heated arguments or, just different disagreements, we've never let our ego get in front of us. It's always been about the problem or the situation itself. It's never taken personal jabs. And I think that's something unique and something that we consciously don't even think about. It just naturally happen that way. So in those moments, it's actually made us make the decisions a lot faster because all we are is just hyper focused on the problem at hand.
What about for everyone, the most, I guess, positively surprising things that have come out of having a partnership to this degree of success?
Well, I haven't built a business without a partner yet, so I don't know what the other side looks like. But I know a few people who have built businesses with other co-founders and have then gone out and built businesses by themselves. And I've had them tell me things like, when I go back home after work is done and I'm sitting down, my partner can tell that I've had a really bad day at work. But and they want to help, but it's impossible for me to describe or even build that connection with the person because, during a day, there's so many fires that you put out and so much that happens that unless you're going through it together, it's impossible to explain. So that really is tough. So I've heard that from others. So in that way, I think I'm lucky that I just started with co-founders and have them. And I think a lot of mutual respect helps as well. Like exactly like Robin said, sometimes you're going to be right, sometimes you're going to be wrong, you're going to disagree often. But as long as you're focused on what matters, which is what's right for the customer, and you don't have an ego post that where, well, we found the right answer, it doesn't matter how we found it. I think that's a healthy way to look at it.
Absolutely. All right. Last thing, I'll let you guys go. We're going to play a little game here. So this is most likely to. Okay, so what we're going to do is you can just look down or look forward or close your eyes, whatever's most helpful. But I'm going to say something like most likely to blank, and then I want you guys to point to the person who's most likely to do that thing. All right, we're going to see if answers line up here. All right. Who is most likely to fire off a new feature idea at 2:00 in the morning?
I don't know about 2:00 in the morning, but definitely a new picture idea.
That was consensus. That's good. Yeah, that's consensus. Who's most likely to play peacemaker during an argument or a heated discussion, we'll say? You got both of them. You got both of them. I'm going to say that's probably you. Who's most likely to read every comment in the Facebook group? Kind of all of you. Well, that's a tough one. That's congruent with each of my separate conversations with all of you, is that you all are very much like you have a pulse on the end user, which says a lot about your founding team. That's awesome. Who's most likely to say that's not scalable? Tech guy. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we can't do that. Who's most likely to hit reply all when they shouldn't?
It shouldn't. It's definitely.
Who's most likely to start a totally unrelated side hobby just for fun?
Side hobby. Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably me.
Yeah, you're the hobby guy. Let's see. There's a couple good ones. Who's most likely to go viral on TikTok for something not work related?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not even on TikTok.
Apparently, you need to be.
I know. Apparently. I'm scared. I don't want to go viral.
Who is most likely to change their mind mid-meeting? The rethinker of the group. Let's see.
It's called realizing you're wrong.
Which goes back to the bringing on partners who are smarter than
you. There you go.
Yeah.
Or it's always being right.
That's right.
Who's most likely to write a novel in Slack instead of just a short message?
None.
And that's a tough one because all three of us are
pretty succinct.
Succinct and efficient.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll do one or two more of these and we'll let you guys go. Who's most likely to survive the longest on a deserted island? Oh, all three of you. Okay. Why did you point to yourself? I'm curious.
I mean, I've kind of done this because I spent.
Fair. I did do it. So,
I spent 10 days not talking to anyone and meditating. So
okay.
I have some practice.
Okay, got it.
And you did it for fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something people do for fun, right?
Yeah.
I think
some people.
Some people. You and Jay Shetty, maybe. Who's most likely to order the weirdest thing on a menu?
And that's a tough one because I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it myself. But I can see Robin doing it as well.
I see. But it's not weird to you, though.
No.
It's just.
I think there are no weird things on the menu. It's more like, oh, that's cool.
That's
I haven't eaten that before. I want to try that.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, this has been awesome, guys. Like I said, I want to be respectful of your time. Wish we had more time, but we don't. So just want to say thank you again for taking the time to come on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I think we got some really great stuff for everybody to take away, something extremely practical that they could use to implement, whether it's in their business or it's something that they want to start up on the side. HighLevel is a extremely robust platform. Congratulations to all three of you on building something so awesome. The world is obviously agreeing with you to the tune of a few million users. So keep up the amazing work. And I'm super excited to see where you guys continue to go with this. And for those of you watching and listening, go highlevel.com/Travis, free 30-day trial of the platform. Go check it out for yourself. See what all the hubbub is about. I eventually had to do it myself and now sit in a room with the founders. So if you haven't heard of it yet, now you have. And if you didn't hear of it here, you're probably going to hear about it somewhere else. So once again, everybody listening, tuning in, remember, money only solves your money problems, but it's a little bit easier to solve the rest of your problems if you got some money in the bank. So let's solve that problem first here on the Travis Makes Money podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.